With me. Lord, take me where you want me to go. Let me meet who you want me to meet. Tell me what you want me to say. And please, keep me out of your way. Amen. Please be seated. I'm not down on the floor today because it's in the direct wind of the air conditioner. I'm really not. Though that is a side benefit that I am grateful for at this moment in all these robes. It is summertime. And if you did not know that. But summer has come a long time ago down in the south where I am from. It has been like this for a couple of months. And growing up in the south, I loved summer. And one of my favorite things to do was to get an old mason jar and run around at dusk and capture lightning bugs. As many as I could, and they would flash like Christmas lights in the jar. And we'd run around as little boys collecting those and showing them off. Lightning bugs are up here too, and they've begun to do their thing and remind us that it's summertime. In the deep south in Tennessee, there's a town called Elkmont. Outside of Gatlinburg, a few miles, deep in the Smoky Mountains, called the Smoky Mountains because the mist that rises up from the trees makes them look like they're actually on fire somehow and smoke is coming out of them. For years, I would go camping in this area. We'd go rafting, we'd go hiking, we'd enjoy it. But Elkmont has a unique feature. Unique in the Western Hemisphere. For in Elkmont, the fireflies or lightning bugs are unique. Unlike everywhere else in the Western Hemisphere, and to let you know, there's only one place in the Eastern Hemisphere that lightning bugs are unique, and that's in China. But in the Western Hemisphere, it's in Elkmont, Tennessee. And what they do is they flash in synchronization. When you see fireflies out here, it's one here, one there, one there, one there. But in Elkmont, all of the fireflies flash at once. And it's only the males that do this. The females see them, and they fly to the males so they can mate and reproduce. Fireflies or lightning bugs only live for about 2 years from the beginning, from eggs to larva, all the way through their breeding season. And their breeding season and their adult life and the time that they are flashing is but a flash. 3 weeks long, and that's all, as an adult. To do what they are destined to do, they only have 3 weeks on this planet to do it. And their goal, as in biology with all creatures, is to reproduce and pass on their DNA, right? So a firefly in Warwick flashing is calling out to a mate and trying to get the attention of a female to draw her in so his genes and her genes can be passed on. Makes sense, right? You're flashy like a peacock or all these other displays in nature that get a mate's attention. But why? In Elkmont, when you want the attention as a firefly, would you flash with thousands, maybe millions of others? Wouldn't you be lost in that huge blur? It seems like the opposite of what you want. You want your moment to flash so you get all the attention there is. But no, in Elkmont, all of those lightning bugs flash at the same moment. And this is so famous, at least down in the south, that they put out reports from the Park Ranger Service of when they believe those 3 weeks are going to happen. And people flock there from all around. They bring their lawn chairs and they sit out like it's going to be a concert. I have done this. And you sit there with your coolers and your picnic blankets, and it's dusk, and you wait for it to begin. And every 8 seconds, the skies light up for 1 second and go back down. 8 seconds, flash. And this goes on and on and on for 3 weeks. It is truly magical. What is going on in the minds of those unique fireflies in that one area? Biologists have studied them. They are no different than the lightning bugs out here on our side lawn right now. They have the same genetic makeup of these lightning bugs we all see. But in Elkmont, they work together in unison. Our gospel lesson today is one that you may have heard before, of 2 sisters. One of them, Martha, is the head of her household. She owns her home. Jesus comes to her home, not her husband's, not her father's, to her home. Martha, you see, was a successful woman of her day, and she was one of the many women who supported Jesus' ministry, both in service and with money, making sure that Jesus and the disciples had what they need. And on this evening, Jesus has come to her and her sister's home. And she gets busy. She's making dinner and she's doing all kinds of stuff. And when she comes out looking for help, where does she find her sister? She finds her sitting at the feet of Jesus, listening to what Jesus would say. And Martha does not like this. Martha feels like the weight of the world is on her. I've got to get dinner ready for these 13 men. Come on, Mary. And Mary doesn't budge, so she speaks to Jesus. And Jesus doesn't really rebuke her. But in this tension between service and worship and formation, Jesus leaves it for us to decide what to do and when to do it. Martha and Mary represent 2 important parts of the church: worship and formation, and service. The 2 are not opposed to one another. In fact, they can work hand in hand, and they do. Right at this very moment, we have both going on. We have people here for formation and worship, and we have people serving. We have an organist, and we have ushers. We have the altar guild. We have acolytes, chalices, and readers, all in service at this moment. The 2 working together in synchronization to make something happen, something amazing. On Monday night, we all gathered at Penning's for a wonderful dinner, attended by about 90 people. Such great fellowship. Kids running everywhere, great food. And we began to talk about something that we began 4 years ago. Many of you in this room were a part of those discussions 4 years ago, as we began what some thought the impossible task of renovating and expanding our parish house in Great Hall. And now we are at that final little bit. We have climbed up the hill, and we are almost there. And that's what we talked about Monday night. And we're looking to finish this as we began it, complete and total. Many of you have been a part of that from the beginning. Many of you are new to it, have joined our church in the last 4 years, and I dare say the building has been a beacon to you, calling you in here and seeing what was going on in this congregation. So our time now together, our call is to do the last push. I think about those fireflies. when I think about you guys. I think about how you guys have worked in synchronization to make something bigger than our individual selves happen. And that's what those fireflies do in Elkmont, Tennessee. Something much bigger than that one little firefly flashing in the night happens there every 8 seconds. We need to finish this. We need to get to that place where we can all flash together so that our light is that beacon in our community, complete and total, to everyone else around us, so that we can fully live into the potential that God has called us all to. So as we think about Mary and Martha, and they're two different sides of our worship and our service, as we think of those fireflies in Elkmont, think of yourselves too, working in harmony together. I pray that our light will be so bright that all those in our Warwick Valley stop and stare in awe at our love for our Creator and how we want to serve our fellow man and woman. Amen.